I didn't see you there. Oh, that's a good show right there. I've been playing LSD Simulator. It's a really good time.
LSD Simulator, a Japan-only PS1 game that was unleashed forth from the crazed mind of artist, and I'm gonna fuck up this pronunciation here, Osamu Sato. I tried my best, I really did. Sato is an artist that works mainly in digital art and ambient music, and you know what? His ambient music is actually pretty tight. I'm not even joking, I do kind of enjoy this ambient music. I like having chill music to write scripts to. Helps you zone out, man. But video game wise, prior to LSD Simulator, Sato had worked on a surreal as fuck point and click adventure game for the PC called Eastern Mind: The Lost Souls of Tong. And this game had Sato's trademark quirky and psychedelic aesthetic, and the game was praised for how, well, downright strange it was. This game is essentially the story of a guy named Rin that's lost his soul and has to borrow the soul of some other guy to get his soul restored or something. And to do it, he must travel through these weird lands that are so interesting to look at. And a lot of the feeling and the themes in this game are very present in LSD Simulator. And this game, much like LSD Simulator, became a cult classic long after its release because of how fucking unique it is. And there was also a sequel to this game called Chu-Teng that became somewhat an urban legend because it sold so poorly that no one could even find a copy of it. Saito apparently didn't even have a copy of it himself. An ISO of the game was finally uploaded in 2013, stopping the game from being lost to history. But a lot of people said it was a bit of a letdown because they tried to make the game too much like other adventure games. And Saito also worked on two edutainment games called Roly Poly's Nanakorobi Yaoki? I think I got that right. And Roly Poly's World Tour. That's a little bit easier. The thought of this guy making games for children really disturbs me. These two games are even harder to find information about. There's footage of it, so it must be out there somewhere, I guess. And these games, in a way, lead to this crazy, beautiful mess of a game that I'm going to be talking about today. LSD Simulator was released on the 22nd of October 1998, and given the weird experimental nature of this game, it didn't exactly sell the best. But in what seems to be a pattern with Saito's games, this game, like his others, became a cult hit way after it was released. The game is supposedly based on the dream diary of an employee of Asmic Ace Entertainment, Hiroko Nishikawa. Asmic Ace Entertainment was the company that Saito worked with to get the game developed. Man, I would not want to have this person's dreams. Were they secretly H.R. Geiger? Supposedly Saito rejected the idea of games and saw them as a means to create art with. And that really comes across when you play this game. There's no plot to speak of, no goal, no princess to save, no big bad to defeat. You're just let loose to explore this absolutely insane world that Saito has created. And in that respect, this game is phenomenally ahead of its time. Because even in the early primitive open world games that were about at this time, there was always some sort of main goal, even if you can meander away from it. In many ways, LSD Simulator is kind of the world's first walking simulator, because that's literally all you do in this game. It's more of an experience than a game, and I honestly think it's an experience worth having. There's just something about the colours and the shapes that they use. This game actually makes you feel like you're tripping balls. This is what I look like while I play this game. I can't help it, this game just spaces me out and it makes my brain tingle. It's like ASMR for me, I guess. Even though you're practically doing nothing in the game, you just find yourself hypnotised by what's going on the screen, and you just want to keep going. It reminds me of that feeling you get when you look at one of those pictures that you have to stare at for ages before you can see the hidden image.
Oh, a sailboat.
I don't know what it is, but there's this strange beauty to the jagged mess of polygons that litter the landscapes. Even though it's a PS1 game, it just feels so clean when you're looking at everything. My favourite part of this game has to be this weird car park looking area. I don't know what it is, but this place just does it for me aesthetically. But some of the other parts give me that kind of cheap Unity asset flip feel where everything is just plonked down at random. But the jumbled madness still kind of feels deliberate when you're adventuring through it. Your character kind of moves around like a character would in one of those first person dungeon crawler games. And there's definitely times where I wish I had a second analog stick to take in the madness a bit more. You can sort of look up and down with some of the face buttons, but it's not exactly the smoothest thing ever. And you can kind of run as well, but the controls for some reason turn to dog shit when you do this, so it's not really worth doing. Every time you start a new game of LSD Simulator, you get plonked down into a different part of the labyrinth of weird shit. And you transport to different areas by humping up against things until a coloured flash will happen and you warp to another area. There's also sometimes tunnels that will take you to a different part of that area. Apparently every session of LSD Simulator is on a timer that ends after 10 minutes or so, but a session can end for seemingly no reason sometimes as well. The only other way to end a session or dream as they call them is to die. Yes, you can actually die in this game. Well, kinda. If you jump down a hole or jump off a cliff, you'll be chucked back to the main menu of the game. And every time a dream ends, the day count will go up, and this is pretty much nothing more than the counter. But when the count gets really high, the areas start to get really fucked up. And every dream you have is rated on this weird scale that rates your dream between 4 categories: upper, downer, static, and dynamic. And sometimes when you try to start a new dream, you just get shown some Japanese text or a weird video. I mean, why the fuck am I being shown a video of some pigeons with a filter on it? Art is subjective. No, it's not. It's fucking bollocks.
Allow me to destroy your gallery. Bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative. That I love. I absolutely love.
That's just the air conditioner.
And well, that's pretty much all there is to the gameplay of LSD Simulator. But the gameplay isn't the star of the show here. The star of the show is the insane shit you see. And you will see some shit that will make you feel like your brain has melted. And there's honestly bits that could have been in a jump scare horror game. Well, let's get into some of the crazy shit that happened to me while I was playing this absolutely insane masterpiece.
Well, let's play this LSD Simulator game I've heard so much about.
I first awake in a strange Japanese-style home that looks like it's seemingly floating in the clouds, and I teleport to an ancient Japan-looking village with a statue of some giant hands that in turn take me to a field of molten lava that doesn't burn me, probably because I'm another lost spirit still trying to make its way through the cycle of death and rebirth, constantly striving to break the cycle and attain nirvana, the liberation from the cycle. After traversing the barren molten lava field, I find a door with a blinding white light inside. Perhaps this door will lead my eternal soul to the state of moksha that I seek, but inside all I find is darkness with muted shapes. In front of me, as if skipping upon the darkness, is a little girl hoop rolling on what seems to be thin air. Did Saito intend this girl with the hoop to represent the fact that our character's soul has not yet ended the rolling cycle of death and rebirth, and my character is slammed back to earth in what seems to be some sort of dockyard with some storage rooms plonked in it? Inside, I find tiny crystal men that snap at my heels like the inevitability of death. I cannot teleport away from these spectres. They can only seemingly keep me from moving for a time. These clearly represent our demons and fears that we can never escape. We can only make peace with them. In another storage room, there's a larger crystal man that can take us away. This represents vice, drugs, alcohol, other addictions, taking us away from our problems, but only for a time. Then the vice takes us away to a long hallway with a small alcove at the end that just pushes you back when you try to escape, reinforcing that you're trapped and you can't escape. You must stand up eye to eye with your existence. You must overcome the suffering within that existence.
Heavy. Man, I need a fucking break after that. I'll come back to it tomorrow. Oh, well, I hope I have a better time today. Yesterday was fucking deep, man.
First I enter a cave when I come across 2 sumo wrestlers fighting on a stage in a room that looks like it's made out of noodles. And I can't look away, I'm transfixed as they battle, until one of the sumo wrestlers is blinked out of existence. Alright, I know I said I'd be a bit more breezy today, but these sumo wrestlers are an illustration of the battle with oneself in a noodle room. Heading deeper into the caverns, I go through pink caves that look like a brain, and I see a little fat demon with a face like No Face from Spirited Away. And when I try to catch the creature, it just runs away from me and disappears into the wall. Come back, goblin, I just wanted a friend. And in the pursuit of my small goblin friend, I hit the wall and I'm again in the house. I see a man asleep in a bed. Could this be the dreamer? Am I looking at my character's body in my spirit form? When I try to re-enter my body, I'm confronted by a group of goose-stepping crystal men next to a house that says love on it. Is this the game's way of telling me that I've not walked the noble eightfold path and that I need to bring more love and compassion into my existence? While trying to chase a lone horse across the sunny meadow, I fall down, down, down into the pitch black darkness once more.
Fuck, I failed at being breezy again. I can't help it, this game just does something to my fucking mind. Ugh. I'm gonna go curl up in a ball and huff spray paint. I'm having a bad trip, man! Hello, madam. Do you perhaps have the time? I'll take that as a no, then. God, the trains are always late these days, aren't they? Well, you see, the train was late, you see. The train was late, you see. They're usually so good, aren't they? Drag, drag, drag. Hello, sir. I appear to be lost. Could you give me some directions? Well, I guess that's what happens when you ask for directions. The ball men are coming to get me. The ball men are coming. Oh shit! The enemy's got me surrounded! Mission abort! Mission abort! Maybe I can teleport, like in the game! Of course, the Christmas tree box with loads of boxes on it! Oh, this will take me somewhere good!